Alright guys, hopefully the 5th time is the charm here with YouTube. Filming live stream with the iPad and it kept giving me a frozen picture. So, anyway, it looks pretty good so far. I wanted to give you guys an update. Let me get in front of the camera. As a reminder, I will not be able to read the comments while I'm filming, obviously, because the camera is filming me. So, I wasn't going to film live stream water change, but I will. That gives you guys an excuse or reason to hang out with each other and talk and chat amongst yourselves. Don't forget to check out the video description down below for all the gear that I use and the links to all said items on Amazon, where I get pretty much all my stuff. And it also has the link to the Facebook group, REEF. Click on that. We've got over 800 subscribers to that, or I should say members. So check that out if you need help with saltwater aquarium, stuff, or you just want to get some advice or tips, or you have a problem with your tank. People are always ready and willing to jump on the questions and answer them. Post photos and videos of your tanks as well. So updates to the channel. Let me see if we're still filming. Oh, we are. Surprise, surprise. Hey Thomas, how you doing? I think everybody else got fed up because it kept quitting on us. Other people will be joining us. So the update is I will be doing some aquarium care videos, saltwater aquarium care videos with Scott from Mile High Reefers. I was in touch with him, and we're going to be doing that as our schedules allow. I got a GH5 camera, so you guys are going to get better video quality. Upgraded my cameras, got rid of all my gear, and I got that one. It films up to 6K. It's going to be insane. Although I pretty much just edit. I film in 4K and I edit down to 720. So again, check out the video description for all the gear that I use. You can get the stuff on Amazon. Also the link to the Facebook group, REEF. So hope you guys are doing well. I know you checked out the video of the Harlequin Sweet Lips right there. Spike is showing his spikes. You see that? So what I'm going to do is a saltwater change. I realize it's in the middle of the day and not many people are going to be watching. That's fine. I've got errands I have to do as well. So I am going to just get set up here. And siphoning this sand bed. Really easy to do. I'm going to turn off all the power heads and the pumps. I do a water change. I was doing a water change once a week. Now I do it every 2 weeks. I do a 10-gallon water change on this tank every 2 weeks. Sometimes every 3. So I'm going to get the bucket in the siphon, or the 5-gallon jug in the siphon. I'm going to turn off the pumps right now, and I'll be back in like 30 seconds. Talk amongst yourselves. Alright, I'm back. I should have had all this stuff out beforehand, but as I said, I didn't have plans on doing a water change. So I shut off all the pumps and the power heads. I got a simple siphon. Alright, I'm going to show you how to start that siphon. Really easy to do. And then I've got the 5-gallon. I'm going to siphon the water into here. And I'm going to put a towel on the floor. I should have been more prepared, but again, didn't have plans on live streaming a water change. It's in the middle of the day. I know a lot of people are out doing errands. I'm going to be doing that myself when I'm done with this. A lot of things to do today. So I used to stick my hands in the tank. I rarely do it anymore. I now use these gloves. All right, link to these on Amazon in the video description with everything else I use. I'm going to put the light on the top here. I'm going to take the screen lids off. I slit my finger open. So the cardboard cut yesterday, so that's going to feel really good. So a couple of reasons I use these gloves. I had Staphylococcus aureus infection, staph infection. I think it was due to this tank, and it's been a pain to get rid of. Okay, so when you start the siphon, you're going to just stick one end of the hose in the 5-gallon bucket. You're going to put the other end in the top of the aquarium. You're going to let gravity pull the water down, and when it's halfway through the tube, you're going to place it in the water. Turn it upside down, and you have your siphon, see? Sucked up a little of the sand bed. I don't want to touch that sand bed, so I'm just going to gently hover over the top of the sand bed, about a ½ inch above it. If you get a little sand in the tube, that's fine. I used to vacuum down deep into the sand bed. I don't do that anymore. I don't want to disturb that sand bed. Right now, I'm just going to take water out and try and vacuum up the stuff that's sitting on top of the sand bed as much as I can. Because there's live organisms living in that sand bed. And I just want to get the uneaten food and fish waste out of this tank. If a little sand comes up, that's okay, but I'm trying not to disturb the bed. If I were to plunge this deep into that sand bed, you'd see all this brown matter come out of the sand. Yeah, I'm vacuuming your tank. And I used to think, oh wow, I'm really doing a great job cleaning my tank. In the corners, you're going to see a lot of the uneaten food and fish waste especially. Another thing I didn't tell you guys, a video will be coming up. I ordered a 5-gallon aquarium for cheap off Amazon. I'll do a video on that probably next weekend. I got that as a quarantine tank for my coral, because I'm going to start coral in this tank. Another thing to remember is to watch your 5-gallon that you're bringing the water into. Don't get caught up in talking to people as I just did, because it just overflowed on the floor. That's awesome. I'll be back in a minute. I got to dump this in the street. I got caught up in talking with you guys, and it flowed onto the floor. That's wonderful. I love when that happens. No, I actually don't. So again, put one end of the hose in the 5-gallon bucket. I'm not going to talk this time until it's done. Take the other end. Yeah, my socks are soaked. You know, I'm just going to focus on this end because I got camera equipment. I'm not going to go around that. Fill it up. Once the gravity pulls it halfway down the tube, plunge it underneath the aquarium. Let it fill with water, turn it upside down, and it suction starts. Again, just siphoning the very top of the sand bed, trying not to get sand. Main objective is to just get 5 gallons of water out here and bring any fish food or fish waste with it. Especially in the corners, that's where stuff usually gets trapped and stays. If you get a little bit of sand, that's okay. Just don't plunge this siphon down into the sand bed so you disturb it. When this is done, I'm going to replace the 10 gallons of salt water with salt water and then blow the rocks off with a power head. I used to use a turkey baster, but now I do it once a week with a power head. It works much better. One of my subscribers suggested that. That's a killer idea. Clownfish is checking it out. What's this tube doing in my house? We got three clownfish checking it out. Okay, that's good. Didn't overflow that time. Thanks for watching, you guys. I just thought I would stream this live. I'll be back in a minute. I gotta dump this out. Be right back. Okay, so I just dumped that second 5-gallon into the street. I now have wheeled the Rubbermaid container containing 10 gallons of water. I'm going to pump it back into this tank with a power head. So first you do the siphon to vacuum. You empty out the 10 gallons of water. Then you're going to pump the 10 gallons of fresh salt water back into the tank. It's been churning for a couple hours. After I do that, I'm going to blow the rocks off with a power head to get all the uneaten food and fish waste off the rock. Then after that, I'm going to turn the power heads back on so the water flows. At which point I will scrape the back of the glass so the coralline algae that's on the back of the glass gets released into the tank, and those spores mount on the rocks, so the rocks become purple again. I don't want to do that now, or as a first step, because if you do, then you could, siphon it out. We don't want to do that. So let me get ready with the water to go in. Actually, what I should have done is use the power head to blow the rocks off and then siphon the water out, whatever. Okay, get this out of here. These hoses are annoying to work with. Once you plug it in, the water will flow. Or maybe not. Is it broken? I think I have a bad power head now, kids. Oh, there's a rock caught in it. Oh, it's always something. God. Come on. This is tangled in there really good. Whatever this is. Had to happen during a live stream, right? What is that thing? Looks like a bunch of cotton or yarn caught in the power head. So it won't spin. Thing burn out or what? Great, now I gotta buy a new power head. That thing's really wedged in there, man. Hold on. Let's see what I have. Scissors should do it. Here we go. I hope. That thing's really wedged in there, man. This motor won't spin at all. That's great. Nothing like hold-ups, man. Hang-ups. Yeah, this thing was really... Yeah, it's yarn. Really? No, you know what it is? It's dog hair. From Leia. Oh, man. Okay, I'm gonna have to keep a lid on this. And I think I just broke it. Oh, come on. Sorry about this, guys. Yep. I just broke it. Let's see if it goes. It probably won't. Nope. It's totally dead. That's great. It's totally dead. That's wonderful. Yeah, that's broke. Have to buy a new pump now. So, let me see if I can get... Sorry for the delay, you guys. I don't think this hose is going to connect to this other power head. Nope, it certainly won't. So, what I'm going to do is just blow off the rock now. I'll just show you that really quick. And then I'm going to stop the live stream and then try and find another hose so I can get the water out of here. Okay, here we go, blowing off the rock. A little too powerful of a pump. I'm trying to keep it as close to the surface as I can. Yeah, the power head's too strong. Try once more with that little guy to try and get water. Then I'm going to buy a new pump. Alright. See if we can get this to work. All these wires from camera equipment makes water change more difficult. It works. I know this is kind of boring, you guys. Hopefully you've been talking amongst yourselves. Some technical difficulties. I'll blow off some of this rock. The water is not that powerful, but I can blow off some of this rock as I'm filling up the tank. Once this is done, I'll turn the power heads back on. Get the sand and uneaten food off the rock. So yeah, I ordered a 5-gallon little tank. It's a nano tank. It's got a chamber in the back with a tiny pump and an area for mechanical filtration for a sponge. I'm only going to use that for the new coral that I buy that's going to go in this tank. When I get new coral, I'm going to keep it in there for 6 weeks. So if there's any parasites that come in on that tank water that the coral came in, they'll be killed because parasites eat on fish, and since there's no fish in the tank, that's going to arrive in a few days. The coral will be safe to place in this tank in 6 weeks. Never ever get a brand new fish and put it right in your main tank, or coral and put it in your new tank. Because like I said in all my other videos, just one drop of infected water will wreak havoc on your tank. Because if there's parasites in that drop, guess what? They're going to multiply like crazy, and they're going to go to town on your fish and eat them and kill them. People say once you have the ick parasite in your tank, you always do. That's a lie. Total lie. Ick parasites do not come in your tank unless you allow them in. And if you quarantine fish and coral properly, you'll never get them. How do you quarantine a fish then? If parasites eat on fish, well, you got to put copper liquid, cupramine, in your water of a quarantine tank. So since copper will kill corals and your inverts, you want to have 2 quarantine tanks. Get yourself 2 separate aquariums alongside your main tank. Put your corals in one, just salt water. Change the water out once a week. And in your other tank with the fish, get a size tank that's the right size. I've got a 40-gallon downstairs, so in case I need to pull these guys out, which I haven't, I only use like a 20-gallon tank, so when they're babies, that's large enough. So I needed a second tank to use for no cupramine for corals. So I just ordered on Amazon a 5-gallon aquarium that's small, perfect for quarantining coral. And those parasites will die within 4 weeks. I go an extra 2 weeks just to make sure. And then once that time is up, 6 to 8 weeks is preferred. It's a precautionary thing. You throw them in the tank here, and it will not be in here. Any equipment that you used for an ick-contaminated tank or a quarantine tank, you should buy separate gear. Separate nets, separate pumps, separate heater. But if you have to use the same equipment between tanks, you want to fill like a 5-gallon bucket with fresh water, no salt at all, and throw the equipment in there for at least 48 hours. I do it for a week. Fresh water will kill the parasite. They literally implode. So I'm really cautious with that. I've lost fish in the beginning of me starting the hobby due to marine velvet or ick parasite. And I don't care what people say, I stand my ground when I know I'm right. I've done a lot of reading over the years and experimentation, and I do not have ick in this tank. Ick makes your fish look discolored, like lighter in color. They swoop against the sand like they're trying to itch themselves. They swoop against the rock like they're trying to itch themselves, because they are. They're trying to alleviate that crazy itch. And if one fish has it, they're all going to get it. So you have to remove all your fish, put them in a quarantine tank, and leave this disease-infested tank with parasites empty for 6 to 8 weeks. So the parasites will die. No amount of water testing will show you if you have parasites or not, by the way. Nice catch. And reef stores will try and sell you wrasse fish to take care of the parasites. They say that the wrasse fish eats parasites. It's a lie. They don't know what they're talking about. There are thousands and thousands of parasites in the water, and there's no way that a one little wrasse is going to eat the fish, the parasites in the fish. This has just been technical difficulties. I've got the hose winding in a way I don't want it to wind. Like I said, it's not the most exciting video, you guys, but like I said, you guys get to hang out with each other, talk amongst yourselves. I know people are doing a lot of errands. It's a beautiful day. It's like 75 degrees here in Chicago. But I wanted to show you like a behind the scenes. I got all the clowns in the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 clowns are in the corner, chilling out until I'm done with their tank. This pump is so slow getting this water in here. So I'm looking forward to that 5-gallon tank. I'll set it up. I'm not going to buy new sand. I'm going to leave the sand in this tank. I'll probably take some of the Miracle Mud out of my second sump and throw it in there. It's got amphipods in it. It's already got bacteria in it. So that'll cycle that little... It's 4.4 gallon tank, which is perfect. I'll put my coral shelf in there. I have the sand. I'll do a water change like every, I don't know, week. Big deal. A gallon out of 4 gallons. Almost there. What movie is that from? We've got about 0.2 gallons to go. What did you do today? I watched a guy slowly fill water in his tank. It was either that or the paint channel where I watched the paint dry on the wall. I chose the fish guy. And we're done. Let me turn the power heads back on. Put the screen on top. Oh, I didn't scrape the back wall off. Let me do that really quick on this side. Got this really cool metal scraper. You just want to scrape the back off a little bit, which has got some coralline algae. It's coming off actually pretty well. The purple on the glass. Those coralline algae spores will flow through the tank and propagate on the rocks. So the rocks will become more purple. I've been doing a water change every 2 weeks. I used to do it once a week. Now I do it every 2 weeks. It's good enough. It's fine. Tank looks great. Water parameters are really good. I don't dose anything in this tank. The only thing I dose, maybe once a month when I'm making my salt water here at home, is calcium crystals. I keep my calcium at 550 because that's where the coralline algae really thrives. So the water is going to have some stuff floating around in it. It won't be as clear. It'll go away. And in about 2 hours time it'll be crystal clear. Put the other screen on so we don't get any escape artists. I'll wipe this down with a towel. Yeah, the tank doesn't look as clear. I just got done vacuuming and putting new water in. I'll also replace the foam in my rotor tubes. The water flows from the overflows into the 2 sumps below, catching all the solids and the waste. I gotta replace that with foam, which I keep back here. There's a link to that foam in the video description as well. Like I said, the tank doesn't look as good right now, but I just got done vacuuming and doing a water change. The only other thing I gotta do is put the foam in the rotor tube in the sump, and this will be close to crystal clear in about an hour. So that's it, guys and gals. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but thanks for hanging out. Sorry I didn't see many comments. I know we didn't have many many watchers, but it's the middle of the day on a Saturday at like 3 p.m. So, I'll see you guys next weekend with another video. I'm going to do a video on that 4-gallon tank that I just ordered, providing it doesn't break in shipping. I've never ordered a glass box before. I'm hoping it'll be fine. I'm sure it will. But I'll do a review on that and an unboxing. Alright? Take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys